Hello riders and not. Today on the vlog is Interceptor 650. First impressions. I haven't ridden it properly yet. Only just to location to start filming because I don't like filming next to my house to start with. And I must say, it is more than what I thought. I know it is one of the most popular motorcycles recently, but I didn't expect it to be such a good quality. Especially after Meteor, this is way above for me in every single aspect. But it's not a full review, and I will tell you more after I will have it for longer and I will ride it for a few weeks, maybe a month or maybe a couple months, maybe over winter, and I'll have a lot more to say. Just today it's first impressions, and my very first impression before even I rode it, I was very impressed with the quality of the build of the motorcycle and the look of it. I think it is absolutely beautiful, classic looking modern motorcycle. Absolutely beautiful. I really like it, to be honest, and it does stand alongside more expensive brands for me, which is impressive. I'm 1m75, 6'9", and this bike is, I'm just about reaching the ground with both feet. It's quite tall comparing with some other bikes. Comparing with Meteor, for example, it is a little bit taller. I'll pop the height of it and the weight of it as well. It is heavier a little bit as well. I could feel that it is heavier. However, because of that, obviously it stands on the road a lot better. I haven't ridden it in the faster speeds, but I believe it has no problem. We'll see that in the full review. Also today we're taking it for a ride and I will talk about it on the way. Everything I can reach nicely with my little hands. The levers are in the right position. I do like the clocks. I think they are retro looking but not too much into your face, and when you're riding you can't notice them too much. There's not a lot going on them. Everything you need, you can see the fuel gauge, all the stuff, all the basic stuff that you need to see on a motorcycle. Nothing extras, nothing more. Everyone knows that I'm not a big fan of Mickey Mouse mirrors, but these are not too Mickey Mousey. They are a little bit smaller, and I quite like the legs of the mirrors and how far they are. We will see how they're doing with the vibration. When I'm sitting on the bike, I hardly block the mirrors. I only block just about that much on this one and the same on that one. So it's about 1/4 of the mirror, what means that the view is just great. But let's go for a ride and I will talk while riding. How does it feel? My very first impressions of riding it rather than it just standing. And when I'll come back, I'll tell you more, and the full review will be at the end of Alone. It is unlimited so far. I have no idea when they will pick it up. I believe that I will have it for quite long, so you will have a very full review of Interceptor 650 by Royal Enfield. I really like the sound of the parallel twin. I think it's lovely, and it isn't right loudness. I could hear it nicely, and I believe people in the traffic can hear it as well. getting used to all the controls and everything. It's quite easy to get used to. It has plenty of power. If I remember well, it's 47 horsepower and around the same 50 something Newton meters of torque, if I remember well, but I'll double check that, and all of that is in the full review. It's very easy to control. Let's take it outside the town and see how it is to maneuver on the twistier roads. The sitting position is great, upright, classic sitting position, but I like the slightly, for me, it looks slightly modern, like this little windshield. I don't know how effective it is, but it looks great. It looks a little bit scramblery. And also, guys, I want to visit at least one, but most probably a couple places where I will take pictures and I will film for you custom interceptors. I did it last year. I'll pop the links to the videos of customized interceptors, but I want to visit Fostec again because if I remember well, they started an interceptor and I couldn't ride it, couldn't test ride it, and it is available at the moment. So we will do custom interceptors video, and I'll try to find you a real owner as well and ask him questions what it is like to live with one and what made him choose this bike as the one to buy, what he's using it for, and what he changed, what he would change, and all the things that you would ask a real owner. The same what I did with Meteor before. I am not sure where we're going, but we're going for a little ride. The weather is not too bad. I'm wearing a new Panda Moto jacket which is windproof and waterproof, so I don't have to worry too much about the rain. That was a bit of a fast stopping because sun just shone into my eye and I couldn't see the car coming. The brakes are great. Brakes are working in that occasion. So I'm wearing Panda Moto new jacket that I picked up in Lithuania. It's brilliant because it's blocking the wind. Wearing a sweater that I knitted myself of a very lovely British wool that keeps me warm. Panda Moto jeans, the thick ones that I have from earlier, and underlayers as well, and heated gloves. This is racer gloves that has separate batteries because I'm not going for a long ride, so they will not die, and it's just enough for the ride like this, and just warm enough for, it's around 7 degrees today, so it's pretty chilly. I could feel that. Full face helmet always to keep you warm. Maybe doesn't go the best with the classic looking motorcycles, but definitely keeps me warm. Now I will shut up so we could listen for the bike. lovely. It is very lovely. Seriously, for the price you pay for it, it's so good. It's so good, guys. I'm not surprised why it was selected as... I think it's the mostly sold mid-range motorcycle in the previous year, I believe. I have to double check the information, but I know it has quite a few awards in India as well as UK. So it is a bike that a lot of people choosing. Also, I had quite a few of you asking me to do a review of it, so I believe that a lot of people interested in that. It's very agile and so nice to maneuver beautifully. I mean, you could feel that it is not a premium motorcycle. I could feel it when I'm changing gears. I could feel it on... It does have some sounds that it tells you that it is not the most expensive and it's not the premium build motorcycle, but if you're using it for every day, or even if you're using it every now and then and you don't want to pay premium price, then it is definitely a lot more for what you pay for. That is at least my first impressions of it. I'll tell you more after riding it longer. And I think riding it in winter, in this season when it's cold and wet and horrible, is not very nice for me personally, but it is very good for a review because you can test the bike in the conditions which are a lot rougher than a beautiful summer day ride. Because summer day ride, any bike can be enjoyable, but in winter, even my own motorcycle, my Harley Davidson Sportster, it's a lot more challenging, and sometimes it's not as enjoyable when it's slippery and it's cold, and it tells a lot about the bike for you. Also, in these conditions, like I said, you test the brakes because you can't see anything at some point, like now, for example. So I couldn't see the car turning, and I had to stop a lot quicker than I would normally have to stop. So I could test the brakes better in the real conditions without just forcing it. Speed limit 60 miles per hour, no problem at all. On the bumpy road, it sits nicely, handles lovely, not forcing anything. I think I can go the gear up as well. Pfft, wonderful. It's absolutely brilliant. Comparing with Meteor, obviously it is smaller engine. Meteor is 350, this is 650. But it is similar in the way. It has a similar feeling, but it does feel like a bigger bike, a lot more stable, a lot more power, a lot more torque, and for me it is more enjoyable and more suitable because I like being able to go faster when I have to. It is easier to ride it that way. However, it depends very much of the roads that you're riding. If they are very bumpy, very narrow, and very bad condition, lighter bike has an advantage because it is easier to handle it in the rough, on the rough roads, especially the classic motorcycle. That's at least what I found. I don't know how about you. I believe that people who live in India or ridden in India could tell me more of what would they choose, the Meteor or the Interceptor. Now we're going to Mersey. It's a beautiful ride here. Oh, it's definitely too cold for that. Wow. Seriously guys, I need to check what is the temperature, but I believe it's around 6 or 5 degrees because it's dropping dramatically and people doing that. Engine braking is also lovely, very smooth, and the torque is smooth throughout the range. It's plenty of torque everywhere. I love it. I really like it. Oh, it's lovely around the bends, absolutely. The sun is sometimes makes my vision, it blinds me so badly, so I have to be extra careful. But it's the bike is just lovely. Absolutely. Horses. What is with the horses at this time of the year? Definitely get more attention than on Meteor. I remember first time I rode Meteor, I came to Mersey Island and some bikes didn't even say hi to me for some reason. Maybe it was too small for them, and somebody who rides a smaller bike doesn't count a bike up on them, which is a bit ridiculous. But on this I definitely get more attention and more looks from people. Or maybe because it's a little bit more rare now at this time of the year to see motorcycles. It is middle of November in the UK. It gets wintry, it gets cold. Last year this time I was riding in Bangkok, guys. I was riding and it was way too hot to ride in comparison. Now I'm riding and it's almost too cold to ride. That is so strange. It was so nice to extend the summer last year, but I quite enjoy the possibility now to take more press bikes, more press loans. Some very exciting things coming, and it's quite nice to see this season changing and search for winter gear and adjust for the weather change. I know that a lot of people parked the bikes already for till the next season in this country too, but I'm riding all year round and it's nice to take you through that journey as well. It's amazing, guys. I love riding because it's about the journey, but also you can just come and see the sun setting and the beautiful Mersey Island. Beautiful. Guys, I meant to film now next to the motorcycles, but by the time I got back home and I needed some time to warm up and have a cup of tea, it got very dark outside. So it is too dark to film outside, unfortunately. The day is so short, it's unbelievable. It's only a little gap when you can comfortably, almost, ride motorcycle. And it was pleasant. My final thoughts for the first thoughts would be I had a good fun riding to the beach today. It wasn't a long ride because it is cold outside, and it was a perfect bike for that. I was happy to be on that. I didn't dream to ride anything else. It was great. It was great because it was too cold to think of riding faster than I rode. Also, in winter it's a lot more dangerous here in UK because the drivers are not used to the motorcycles on the road. It was brilliant. I had a good time. It's not many things that I didn't like. There are a couple little things that I found a little bit awkward, but that is in the full review. Thanks for watching for today, and I'll see you on the next one.